Hello, this is Mr. Price, and this is your video on the Unit 7 on percentage change. In this lesson we're going to look at, or in this homework I should say, we're looking at converting fractions, decimals and percentages, and then some percentage of amounts. Okay, let's go straight into the first question. So we want to convert 5/16 into a decimal and a percentage. Now, as this isn't the nicest of fractions in the world, I am going to first decide that 5/16 also means 5 divided by 16. Okay, so a fraction also means the top number, the numerator, divided by the numerator. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so I want to see how many 16s go into 5, like so. Okay, now here it might help if I just write down a few of my 16 times table. So 16, 32, and I'll just do one more, see if I need it. 8, 48. Okay, so now 16s into 5 goes nothing. Put in my decimal points, put in a 0, and I'm 5 away. 16s into 50 go 3 times, and I'm 2 away to get to 50, so remainder 2. 16s into 20 go once, and here 16, 32, 48. Okay, put in my 0, and I am 4 away. 16s into 40 go twice. Okay, sorry about that interruption. So we were at 16 to 40 goes 2 times with a remainder of 8. Okay, here I need to do 80, so I need to go a little bit further up on my grid. So then I've got 64 and then 80. Ah, perfect. So 5 times. So 5 divided by 16 is 0.3125. So there is my decimal equivalent, which I can put into my table. 0.3125. Okay, now fortunately for us, turning that into a percentage is much easier. Okay, to turn that to a percentage, I just need to multiply that by 100. So all my numbers move to the left twice, but it also looks like my decimal point moves to the right twice. So that's easy to think about. So my decimal point is going to end up here. So that's going to be 31.25%. Okay, to work from a decimal to percentage, you multiply by 100, and obviously going backwards, you divide by 100. Okay, let's look at the next question. So, once again, we'll start off with the easier one. So 0.225 can be written as a percentage by multiplying by 100. So that's just going to be 22.5%. Make sure you include the percentage sign, otherwise your answer is incorrect. Now, to turn a decimal to a fraction, this can be a little bit more trickier. So, I'm going to look at where my numbers appear in the place value column. So, if I've got units, decimal point, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, okay, I'm going to put my number inside the place value. I've got 225 thousandths. So I'm going to write that as a fraction. 225 thousandths, like this. Oops, sorry. There we are. So, once I've got this, I will now start to try and simplify my answer. So I can divide the top and bottom by 5. Okay, so I'm going to get on the numerator. 225 divided by 5 is 45. And 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. And I can divide by 5 again. So I'm going to have 9. And then 200 divided by 5 is 40. And then I believe that's my final answer. That does not simplify it any further. So I've got 9/40 is my final answer. That's probably one of the more trickier ones. The fraction ones can be the more difficult. Okay. Let's look at the next one. So I want to convert 74%. Now, this time I'm going to do the fraction one first. So 74% means 74 divided by 100, because cent means 100. So 74 divided by 100 could be written like this. There we are. And now all I have to do is simplify it where possible. So I can see I've got a common factor of 2 here. So I'm going to have 74 divided by 2 is 37. And 100 divided by 2 is not 20. So I was dividing by 10 for some reason there. 50. And then I just have to think, is there any more common factors? It does not look like it. Okay, so, yep, no common factors in there. So that's finished, 37 over 50. Okay, now to get a percentage to a decimal, I just need to divide by 100. So if I've got 74.0%, if I divide by 100, I'm going to get 0.74 as a decimal. Okay, and finally the last question. Okay, we need to turn 132.8% as a decimal and a fraction. So, first I'm going to get that into a decimal by dividing by 100. So 1.328. Okay, and then finally I want to turn it into a fraction. Now here I'm going to take my 1.328. Now because this is a number larger than 1, I'm going to turn this into 1 plus 0.328. Okay, and I'm just going to turn this bit to a fraction. Okay, so just like before, I've got tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So this is 328 thousandths. And now try and simplify that where possible. So I have a common factor of 4 in here, and a 4 in here, I believe. So that gets us 82 over 250. And I can divide by 2 again. So I get 41 over 125. And then that has no more common factors because 2 doesn't go into either of these, 3 doesn't, 5 doesn't, 7 doesn't, 11 doesn't, 13 also doesn't. So we are finished there. So it's 1 whole and 41 over 125 is your answer. So 1 whole, don't forget the plus 1, and 41 over 125. Okay, let's look at the final 3 questions here for section 2. So I want to calculate 35% of 80. Now I know 100% is the whole thing, so 100% is worth 80. Now I'm trying to build little pieces to get to 35%. So if 100% is 80, then 10% will be 10 times smaller. That's going to be 8. Okay, so 5% will be half of that, so 4. So therefore 30%. Okay, so to get 30%, I want 3 lots of 10%. So that's going to be 3 lots of 8, which is 24. Okay, so now to get 35%, I just need a 30% and a 5%, so I add these numbers together. Just add those two. So I'm going to get 28. And there's my answer for that one. Okay, this time I want 35% of 82. Exactly the same thing. I know that 100% is 82. So 10% is going to be 10 times smaller than this, so 8.2. I then want to have 5%. So that's half of this. So 8.2 divided by 2 is 4.1. And then I want 3 lots of this to get 30%. So 8.2 times 30, 8.2 times 3. Well, I can pretend it's 82 times 3 if you need to, on the side here. So 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 8 is 24. But I want to do 8.2 times 3, so that's 10 times smaller. So that's going to be 24.6. Okay, and now add my 30% and my 5% to get 35%. So 1/10 times 6/10 is 7/10, decimal point. 4 units plus 4 units is 8 units, and just 2 tens is 28.7 is our final answer. Okay, and now for our final question, it asks us for 35% multiplied by 82.50, so £82.50. Okay, now always remember multiplying of mean the same thing in mathematics, so it's actually exactly the same question, just with a slightly more trickier number. So 100% is this time £82.50. So 10% is 10 times smaller, so that's £8.25. So 5% is half of this, so that's going to be £4, 12p and half a penny, 4.125. And then 30% is 3 lots of this. So I'm going to pretend it's 825 for the moment. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6 plus the 1, 7. And then 8 times 3 is 24. Okay. But I didn't want to do 825 times 3. I want to do 8.25 times 3. So my answer needs to be 100 times smaller. So it's going to be £24.75. Okay, now add up my numbers. So here, just make sure that your columns are in the right place. So 5 thousandths plus no thousandths is 5 thousandths. 2 hundredths plus 5 hundredths is 7 hundredths. 1/10 plus 7 tenths is 8 tenths. 4 units plus 4 units is 8 units. 2 tens plus no tens is 2. So my answer is 28.875. But remember, this is money. So that's going to be £28, and then I can't have 87.5p, so it's going to round up to 88p. So 88 pounds. There we are. If you need any help with those, do see me in class. Thank you.